And welcome back to Gela's Tap House, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Average Joe Beer Connoisseur. Me and my wife were just upstairs hanging out and doing Disney Plus and butt stuff, or Disney Plus this dick, or Disney Plus and blowjobs, whatever the kids have decided to call it since it's moved on since Hulu, Do You, and Netflix and Chill. If you don't have Disney Plus, I highly recommend it. It's actually quite amazing. I've been watching it since we've got it. Probably watched Mulan about 13 times. It's my favorite Disney movie. Fun fact about me, because there might be a quiz on this at the end of the year to see how many of you actually watch all the videos. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe or follow me on Instagram and Untapped. A lot of stuff going down there. But as we were upstairs watching Disney, my wife, we were talking about the holidays because we travel around way too much. And she said, maybe on Gray Wednesday, which is one of my favorite times of the year, maybe on Gray Wednesday we can go out and see if we can find any deals because we're not going to be able to go to Black Friday because we're going to be traveling all day, driving back from Philly to Cincy's like 9 hours. So we're not going to have time to stop and try to get those deals. And that got me thinking, Gray Wednesday is a fantastic time for beer. It is probably the heaviest bar day of the year, I think. I think it even beats out St. Patrick's Day and the 4th of July. Like it is a heavy drinking, heavy beer day, bar day, I guess I should say. There's mixed drinks and everything else too. And I was going to do a show around Thanksgiving, to kind of pair with food, but I thought, what better way than to have a show to prep you for Great Wednesday? Maybe you can go out and find some beers. Also, I did Great American Beer Fest winners this time around. And what was surprising to me is I was looking at the list of winners, I was making sure I had any in my house, and the beers that I had that were winning medals weren't really heavily distributed. I mean, they were heavily distributed beers. They weren't specialty beers that you couldn't get or you had to go to a brewery to get. These were beers that you can find on the shelves at most locations and most places. Now, I do have one, that'll be this last one, that you won't be able to find anywhere. But these other three, you might be able to find in cans at a bar, you might be able to find on tap, you might be able to find a discount or something. So, as you're out and about, getting your crunk on Gray Wednesday, I at least got some recommendations of good quality craft beer that have won medals at Great American Beer Fest for you to get to. If you don't know what a Great American Beer Fest is, it is the beer fest of Beer Fest in the United States. Breweries from all over the country go, they take their best beer and they're judged and they give out medals and rankings and awards. It's been going on for about almost 40 years now. It is huge and massive. And it starts Thursday. There's one Thursday, there's one Friday, and there's 2 sessions on Saturday. And the last session on Saturday is basically just finish everything. So they're pouring you samples. You can be double fisting. You got a lot of stuff going on. It's a great party, great time, great people. So make sure you get there. Next year, it's the 24th through the 26th of September. So if you're looking for something to do, it's in Denver, always in Colorado. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's get right to it. First up, I got Weekend Vibes IPA. This is made with Mosaic Citrus and Simcoe hops. This is from Coronado. Coronado is on Coronado Island, which is basically San Diego, California. And this brewery actually won 2014 Midsize, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, Midsize Brewery and Brewmaster of the Year at World Cups in 2014. So it was 5 years ago. You could be like, a lot has changed since then. Yes, but the fact that they still won one on a world scale is very impressive. This is an American IPA. It comes in at 6.8%. And it's got a 3.81 rating on Untapped. So if you listen to some of the ones I have, normally I'm pulling some things that might have over 4, so this might be a little lower. If it's a heavily distributed beer, the ratings are lower because people that don't really like the style buy it and try it because they can find it everywhere. Drink it, might not be able to appreciate it. Those guys kind of hurt ratings sometimes. But this won a bronze in the American IPA category. So we've talked about IPAs a lot recently, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse there. But as you can see, it's clear, it's got great colors. This is a regular IPA. It's not those hazies that we've talked about that are dry hopped. It is a regular IPA, so it's nice and clear all the way through. Go ahead and taste it for you. It won bronze, but it's killer. It's super easy. Drinkability, you can crush these. Super easy to drink. Nice mouthfeel, not too thin. They got a nice bitterness to it, as they should, but it's not overpowering. It's very, very drinkable, very easy to drink. Weekend vibes because it's meant to tailgate. It's meant to get you lit and have a good time. Very good. Taste for style, tastes like an American IPA. Like I said, you're not getting too many of these around here anymore. A lot of people are doing hazies now because that is what the thing is. There's a meme on Facebook that has Elvis. It's the 10-year challenge. It has Elvis, or the regular Elvis for 2009, but it says IPA on it. And then it says 2019 IPA, and it's a fat Elvis, because that's exactly what's happening. They've been adding a lot of different stuff to really bulk up and really get rid of that bitterness and get rid of that actual style of taste, and that's why the New Englands are super popular, because it appeals to more palates. Don't get me wrong, we've done a lot of hazies on here, big fan of those too, but every time you get a good regular IPA, it's solid. So drinkability, crush that. I drank half of that in a gulp because it just went down super smooth. Taste for style, tastes like everything it needs to taste like. Final overall rating for this one. This is a full pour for me. It won a bronze. I would like to see what the silver and the gold taste like. Those came from smaller breweries that I'm not able to get out here. But that is really, really good. So, I'm going to just throw this in there. If you're looking for something to do today, make sure you watch the Titans game. They need all the fans they can get. We need another big win. And since Great Wednesday is on Wednesday, you can do a little bit of liver stretching today, work it out a little bit, drink some beers, watch the Titans win, hopefully, fingers crossed. So, just going to throw that out there if you're bored. If you're not watching this on Sunday when I post it, well, then I guess you're not going to. Next up, we have Tank 7 from Boulevard. Boulevard is from Kansas City, Missouri. Not Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri. Confuses a lot of people, but it is in Missouri, which I'm pretty sure it's like right across the river, same place. Anyway, in Missouri. This is a farmhouse Saison. Comes in at 8.5%. Has a 379 rating on its app. 8.5% is pretty high. A lot of Saisons that I'm finding recently are a little bit lower than that, but this one's up there. It's pretty high. And this style is normally more carbonated, so you can't really see it because the head died down, but I tried to pour it so you could see the head on it there. No, not going to show up for you, but they're normally pretty carbonated, so if you don't like carbonated beers, you're going to want to stay away from these. This one, a silver for an American Belgian style Saison, and this is everything that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fruity aromatics. It's supposed to maybe have like a grapefruit kind of hops to them, and then it's going to end with like a peppery, or it's going to be dry. Now, farmhouses and Saison, I'm not a big fan of. They're not my style. They're not my go-to, but I have learned to appreciate them over the years. The reason I actually had this at the house is because I had it in 2017 and I gave it a low rating, and I was like, I got to retry that again because it's very popular among Saison and farmhouse fans. So I wanted to try it again. So let's go ahead and try it. I'm liking it a lot more than I did in 2017 when I didn't like this style. So it does finish dry, it does finish peppery. It's got like a little bit of a bite to it, like a crispness that you get when you drink these sort of styles. If you've had them before, if you're a fan of these styles, you know exactly kind of what I'm talking about in layman's simple terms. Drinkability, I'm not chugging that. 8.5%. You can't taste the alcohol, which is nice, but I'm not chugging it. The flavor's there, but it's going to take me a little bit to drink the rest of that one, just because of the style and how you're supposed to drink them. And then taste for style, it tastes exactly what it's supposed to taste like. It tastes like a Saison. It tastes like the farmhouse, like it's supposed to. They use the Belgian yeast, I'm guessing, and a Belgian malt profile, which you can tell. They do a very good job on this one. I'm going to have to go in and change my Untappd rating because it's not fair to this beer because it's quite good. Like I said, I won a silver. I'm probably going to give an overall rating of a 3.75 on Untappd, which will probably correlate about a 7, about a 3/4 pour. So 3/4 pour for this one. Not my style, but for the style, it is very good, and I have no problem drinking this. So I highly recommend it. And I picked this one as well because I've seen this on a lot of shelves, a lot of places. The same with this one. Both of these breweries you can probably find at most places. So these ones you should be able to get while you're out and about. If you go to a half decent bottle shop, you'll be able to find those. So look to grab those two, pick them up. It'd be a good idea. All right. Next up, we have Cigar City. If you've heard of Cigar City, you know that they were a powerhouse in the brewing industry for years, and they still are. They're still making fantastic beers. They're still making beers that people travel, hundreds, thousands of miles, hours worth, fly into just to get certain beers of theirs. So they make fantastic stuff. And today we have the Maduro Brown, which is an English style brown ale. The English and American brown ales, they vary based on the type of malt that they use. One uses English malt, one uses American malt. Without getting too complicated, that's basically what it is. Cigar City's in Tampa. And apparently, from what I've heard, I've actually never been there yet, but I want to go. They have one of the best brewery tours. People say that you go there, you do the tour, and then you're like smashed before you leave. And I'm always down to have a good time. So, from the brewery tour itself, you're going to get drunk. I don't know what level of drunk you'll get, but you're going to get there. So, make sure you tune into my next episode because I have levels of drunkenness, kind of like Dante's Inferno, that we're going to go over. But I'm making this one kind of late, so we're doing things kind of quick so I can get upstairs and watch the Titans win football game. Another reason we're doing it today, not just because of Great Wednesday, but because last time I did a show wearing Titans gear, they won. And I need all the wins I can get. Big fan here. Anyway, brown ale, really good. It's 5.5%. And this won a gold medal for English style brown ales. Shouldn't surprise you if you know what Cigar City is. They're fantastic. This is brewed with flaked oats. Now, breweries add flaked oats to thing for a more fuller mouthfeel, maybe like a silkier mouthfeel, some will say, fuller, silkier mouthfeel. And that's why they add flaked oats to beer, so you can get that. And I think that's why I'm a big fan of this one, and because I'm not a big fan of brown ales, because to me they taste too thin. Like you get like maybe a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of roast to them, like you're supposed to in a brown, but then like it kind of just disappears, and that's why I lean more towards stouts or porters. But let's just go ahead and try it. So if you're a brown ale fan and you've never had this one, you definitely want to get it because it has all of the flavors that a brown ale has in it. And then it's just a much fuller feeling beer. It's got like a nice little silky taste to it. I don't know if I was still head on that, if I would have poured it a little better, I think it would have had like a more silkier taste. It would have been really nice. And one nice thing about Cigar City is when you look up their description of beers, they tell you what kind of cigars pair with it. Now, I do not smoke cigars. Personally, I don't smoke any kind of tobacco or anything, but it will pair well with a mild to medium bodied cigar. So I'm not really sure what that means, but if you're into cigars, then you need to look up at getting these beers because they tell you what kind of cigars to smoke with your beer, which is neat. Other places do things like that. Android Theory in Virginia, I'm trying to think of the actual location. I think it's like about 25, 30, 40 minutes from Winchester, Front Royal area. But Android Theory, they'll put on there what kind of food, what kind of cheese, and what kind of cigars would go with it. So I like places that do that, and Cigar City does that as well. So drinkability for this one, easy to drink, but for that brown ale style, like it's another kind of sipper. Like I'm not going to want to chug this. If I'm going to make a chug video, I'm going to probably go with this one. I'm not going to be picking one of these two. Might have to make a chug video here now that we talked about it, but very good. Easy to drink for a brown. But look, it is a little bit heavier flavor, so not a party beer. Nice casual beer. So when you first get somewhere, but as you're getting warmed up, this would be the place that I'd pick on beer that I would pick on Great Wednesday or Gray Wednesday. Taste for style, it tastes like a brown ale. As I said, gold rating. It won a gold medal. So obviously, it tastes exactly what it's supposed to taste like. My final overall rating for it's going to be a 3/4 pour. Like I said, browns. You know, I'm going to lean more towards the stout because of the mouthfeel that it's lacking, but this one is full-bodied, tastes good. But I'm still only going to give it about a 3/4 pour. Still not bad. I would definitely recommend you checking it out. And then lastly, Scoring Discrepancies by Listerman and Bottle Logic. Listerman we've talked about before. We did a whole Listerman show. They had the whole rapper series. Listerman is in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they're pumping out some of the best pastry stouts in the country right now. They're just making phenomenal stuff. They made this with Bottle Logic. Bottle Logic's in Anaheim, California. If you're ever in Anaheim and you're going to breweries, because there's quite a few there, make sure you stop at Bottle Logic because they're probably the best one there. You have like the brewery and the brewery Thoreau also around Anaheim. I think that might, I'm trying to figure out, remember exactly where that one was because we were on the road. But it is around Anaheim, so make sure you check those out too. But that one is fantastic. Go to Bottle Logic for sure. So Scoring Discrepancies is a stout brewed with peanut butter and raspberries. So they were going for like kind of like a peanut butter and jelly kind of feel to it. It's at 12%. It's got a 4.4 rating on Untappd. When this first released, Listerman has a huge following in Cincinnati, and the people that are huge Listerman religious followers, they were just hyping this up. So I had to go out and buy some. It did not disappoint. It was tasting phenomenal. This is last year, so I haven't had it in a while, so I need to try it again, make sure it still tastes good. But the one I had last year was great. It won a gold medal this year, so shout out to them for that. That's a fantastic. For field beer, and I'm not really sure what the qualifications of field beer is, probably because like the malt profile might not have followed the requirements for a stout and everything else directly, so there's its own category. But there was plenty of entrants in there. It's not like that was the only beer in there. And then this Black Friday, if you're going to be in Cincinnati, they're having a bunch of variants released on Black Friday. I wish I could get all of them because I bet they're going to be fantastic. I cannot, so if you're in the area, make sure you pick one up because they're going to be great. Also, while I'm in the Cincinnati vibe, shout out to Brink. Brink's on College Hill. It's like more towards the west side of the city, I guess, depending on from where I am, more towards the west. And they won another gold medal for their milk stout. They win that every year because it's fantastic. I tried to get that for the show, but I didn't have any here, and they only like sell it in Crowler, so I would have had to go all the way out there and get it. It just wasn't happening today. And they also won best very small brewery in the country. So they won that again. That's like 2 or 3 years in a row now. So they're just killing it out there. If you're in Cincinnati, stop at Brink. All right, enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and try it. I love the color of this. I love the head. It smells a lot like peanut butter. It's damn good. So when you drink this, it smells heavy peanut butter. And you're thinking that's what you're going to get. So you drink it, and then you get a lot of peanut butter in your mouth, like it's heavy peanut butter flavor. But then as it's going down your throat and as the peanut butter is disappearing, it comes out sweet, and it comes out a lot of raspberry. So, and the raspberry is actually sticking on my tongue right now. It's very pleasant. I keep tasting like raspberry and sweetness, and it's very nice. But when you drink it, you get heavy peanut butter. So it does kind of taste like a peanut butter and jelly in a glass without like the breading to it. Drinkability for 12%, there you can't tell there's 12% in there. I could chug that beer. I'm not going to because I want the flavors to really come out. I really want to cherish it, but it is fantastic. So good. Taste for style, tastes exactly like it's supposed to. Won a gold medal. And rating, part of my rating system that I haven't done for a while because I was like, my mom was like, you drink too much, and she's probably right. And she's like, you need to be more professional, and she's probably right. And she's also like, you shouldn't be saying how drunk things get on camera because someday that might come to bite you in the ass, and she's also right. So I've been getting away from will it get you drunk or how easy it'll get you drunk as a rating that I had a while back. But I'm gonna bring it back just for this one. This thing will get you blacked out in a heartbeat. 12%, easy to drink, tastes fantastic. I could crush a case of these if I wanted to, and then end up waking up in a hotel lobby, even though I live in town here. So take that what you will. So it is fantastic. Rating on this one, full pour, hands down. I'm gonna take another drink of it just because talking about it so much got me excited. So good. So that's it for my review, but I'm not done because we always know we have Taylor's recommendation, and it's not a surprise this time. She told me what she was doing because she wanted to make sure that I wanted to pick a beer that wasn't a medal winner, and I did. I was perfectly okay with it because the beer she picked, well, let's just show you. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. I didn't look. Normally you can't, but if you can't, here it is. Pabst Blue Ribbon Hard Coffee, 5% beer. This thing is phenomenal. It is super easy to drink. I'm gonna just let you pour at it. Take a pour so you can look at it. It looks like coffee. It looks like they've added a lot of milk and stuff to it, and it smells fantastic. It smells like coffee. The reason I'm super excited about this is a lot of people that haven't got to try it. I took it to a bottle share recently, and people tried it, and it was probably the best beer there. And we were dealing with gold medal winners and all this other huge, heavy hitting stuff. And these were the first beers to kick. And I brought 3 of them when everyone else brought like maybe like a single can or something. So these are fantastic. If you've never had one, definitely go out and get one. They taste like a Yahoo. I actually never had one of those that I can remember, but everyone that's drank one says that's what it tastes like. So I'm gonna take their word for it. So good. See, to me, it doesn't necessarily taste like a Yoo-hoo. It tastes more of like an iced coffee without the ice. I mean, it is a little thin, especially after drinking these heavy-bodied beers back to back. but it doesn't matter. It's not meant to be nice and thick. I could chug this. I could kill this. I'm running out of these, so if anybody wants to send me a 4-pack, hit me up because I will gladly take a 4-pack from you. These are fantastic. So, taste for style, it tastes to me like hard coffee. It tastes exactly what it says it's supposed to taste like. Drinkability, chugging it, everyone loves it. We're gonna bring back, will it get you drunk again? Will this get you drunk? It will. It's gonna take a long time at 5%, but that's not gonna be a problem because you're really gonna enjoy drinking these. They're very refreshing, especially if you've been drinking other beer. If you're out and about and you've never tried it, just pick up a 4-pack. They're not very expensive. You will be missing out if you do not. So, I'm speaking pretty high. You also know that I love PBR. I told you about the time that I was at Pabst, drinking a Pabst, and the heavens opened up, and I felt like I was being ascended into heaven, and it was just, everything was okay with the world. And they came out with this, still killing it in the beer game. They know exactly what they're doing over there. And it's kind of the same thing. So that's it for today. I babbled a little more than I normally do because I wanted to just try to speed things up a little bit. And when I ramble, I normally talk faster. So that's why I was doing that. But if you do not follow me on Instagram or on Tap, make sure you get there because the holiday season is going to be crazy. It's going to be great. Month of December is a huge beer month for me. I do a bomber advent calendar. So if you like my reviews where I do harder to get beer, higher quality beer, the month of December is going to be for you because that beer is going to be, the beers that I have are going to be crazy. I'm going to shoot a video every day. I'm just going to put the videos together and probably release it weekly, I think. Stay tuned. So I do have beer picked out to do a Thanksgiving show, so maybe I'll shoot one next weekend too, just to get in the groove of things. So definitely stay tuned. If you do not have me subscribed already on YouTube, please do that because I need about 14 more subscriptions in order to get my custom URL. So once I get to that, that'd be great. But until next time, remember, happiness is just a flight away. Cheers.